Is your kata like this? Or is it like this? Or maybe it's like this.
Here's my kata. I'm moving slow.
Well, we're going to go over today exactly what you should be doing with your kata, speed, power, and when you're ready to start thinking about more katas and testing. Testing isn't about being able to do a dance and go to your dance recital and get a new belt. There's a lot more to it than that, and we're going to cover it today. Okay, so in the first one, we're going fast, and then we're pausing, and then we're going fast, and then pausing. That's the sign that you have no idea how to do your form. It's the sign that you've gotten through it, and you feel like, oh, I want to get ready for my test, so look, I can get through it. Well, that also shows us that you're not ready. It's missing some key components that I'm going to come back to. But for right now, the next one. The next one is entirely too fast. It runs and runs and runs and runs and runs. Okay? The first one had a buffer moment. The second one had no buffer moment at all whatsoever. The last one was very fluid and the moves weren't so bad, but the thing was, it was kind of at a learning speed. And that's not what we want either. So, what should we do? When I perform my kata, I should think about application. And if you don't know the applications yet, ask your teacher. Or try and think about them in your mind. Imagine what's going on. Kihon kata ichi, for instance. Or, any kata. Maybe I just break it up. I think, okay, there's a bad guy to my left. I'm going to block him and punch him. So I don't want to go, there's no power. That's one thing your kata needs. Power comes from setting and having strong root in your stance. Breathing, focusing. These are all important points to your kata. Strong stance. Power, where you're looking, breathing, strong stance. Think about those. So I do the first couple moves now. I look, block, punch. Now, that's not bad for testing speed. Maybe I want to go a little faster. So I look, block, punch. Now, I took enough time to pause. Hold it for just a split second before I went on to the next thing. That was the problem with kata number 2, was that we went like this. There's no time to stop and get the power in it. Although I'm looking everywhere and maybe I'm super quick. That's just junk. So I need to have power. Hips, look, balance, stance. All back to what I said a moment ago. Punch, breathe, look, stance, power. All comes from these things. Now I turn around. The next part of the kata, I'll stick that together. So I pause here just for a moment. Then I look. Pause for just a moment. This is way too long, but I'm making it a point to teach it. So I go now 1, 2, 3. Each one of those punches had just enough pause to have pop in it. So I didn't go, and I didn't go. So it's a big difference. You want to punch, punch, punch. Where you look, mensuki, how we breathe, how we move with our feet, our stance, our rooting. All of those things are going to be important. Hip motion. This is what tells me as the teacher and other teachers that you're close to your next, well, not your next belt, maybe, but more ready for, okay, they can handle some more. I could teach them some more. Okay? It's not about, hey, I went home and I watched something a bunch of times. Now I think I can repeat it like a doll. Which is the last one. When you're doing kata, it's not bad that I do kata like this. This is a learning speed. Okay? The teacher taught it to you, and they said make sure your form's good, Make sure you move nice and fluid. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's not a good kata for moving on with because I have no power. I have no focus. I'm just dancing through the moves. I have to learn where the power goes, where the eyes go, where the breath goes. So let's go over that one more time, even though I've said it like a bunch in this video. Menski, eyes. Okay, where am I looking? Breath, ki or energy coming from my breath. Power from the hips. Power comes from hikite, which means a hard chamber and turning the hips. It also comes from strong legs and strong stance. That comes from a strong rooted stance. That's the next one. Nice, strong stance. Okay? Eyes, breath, stance, hips. All of that's important. We're relaxed until the very end of the motion. Tension is not like this. So, think about those things when you do your kata. Start videoing your kata. Send them in to us. Put them in the group. Let other people see you're practicing. We'll talk to you guys soon. Stay at it.